Does the defense wish to give an opening statement at this time?
Yes, Your Honor. Everyone loves a competitive spirit, but when the spirit is driven by jealousy and envy, damage and destruction will surely follow. Tony DeLuca is such a competitor. He is a foreign exchange student with dreams of someday attending the University of Los Angeles and becoming an Olympic swimmer. Tony moved in with the Vega family and joined the Hidden Valley High School swim team, where he faced stiff competition from fellow swimmer Adrian Vega. On the night of April 19th, the high school won a state championship qualifying swim meet. Adrian was a star that night, and a scout from the University of Los Angeles even approached Adrian after the meet. The evidence will show that Tony DeLuca was bitter because he had been vying for that same scout's attention. Meanwhile, Adrian Vega, overwhelmed with excitement, began texting her parents and asked Tony to drive home. The testimony will show that while driving home, Tony DeLuca struck a bicyclist, but blamed Adrian Vega when questioned by the police. Why? Jealousy and envy over Adrian's success. The evidence will also show that Tony knew if he were convicted for a hit and run, it would destroy his dreams of swimming for the University of Los Angeles. Our first witness, Aubrey Fox, will testify that she saw Tony DeLuca approach the driver's side door of Adrian Vega's car. However, when she gave this information to Officer Wright failed to investigate Tony DeLuca as the driver. Our second witness, Taylor Berard, is a private swim coach and will testify to Adrian's passionate stance against texting while driving. Dallas DeCamp will then testify that she saw the accident and called the police department on 2 separate occasions to provide information, but these phone calls were never returned. Finally, Adrian Vega will testify that Tony DeLuca was mad on the drive home, grabbing Adrian's cap and cell phone. When Adrian tried to retrieve her items, she felt a bump. Fearing they had hit something, Adrian asked Tony to pull over so that Adrian could drive the rest of the way home. However, Tony DeLuca never did. Instead, Tony DeLuca kept driving. Now, Your Honor, the defense will also show that none of the eyewitnesses at the scene got a clear view of who was driving because of the speed of the vehicle and the poor lighting at the intersection where the accident occurred. At the end of this trial, the prosecution will fail to prove, beyond a reasonable doubt, that Adrian Vega hit a bicyclist, and therefore we will ask for an acquittal. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Stevens. And people may call their first witness.
Your Honor, the people call Officer Wright.
Officer Kelly Wright to the witness stand.
Your Honor, I'll be cross-examining this witness.
Thank you.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly affirm that the testimony you're about to give will faithfully and truthfully conform to the facts and rules of the mock trial competition?
I do.
Please be seated. Ma'am, will you please state your full name, spelling your last for the record?
My name is Kelly Wright, W-R-I-G-H-T.
Thank you.
Good evening, officer.
Good evening.
Where are you employed?
I'm currently a police officer at the Hidden Valley Police Department.
Can you please describe your professional experience for the court?
Yes, I've been a police officer there for around 12 years now.
In your capacity as a police officer, have you investigated traffic collisions?
Yes, I've investigated numerous traffic collisions as well as hit-and-run incidents.
Were you working on April 19th?
I was on patrol with my partner, Officer Jackson.
Did you respond to a traffic incident call at the intersection of Skyline and Grant?
Objection, Your Honor, this is a leading question.
Whether she responded to an incident call?
Specifically on the intersection of Skyline and Grand is a leading question, Your Honor, and it's not permitted on direct
Well,
examination.
I think it's foundational. It seems to me that that's not what the heart of the case is, so objection overruled.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I did, and we arrived at around 10:40 p.m.
Now, directing your attention to Exhibit A, can you please describe what this depicts?
It is a diagram of the accident scene as it appeared on April 19th.
And is this fair and accurate?
It is, yes.
What, if anything, did you see when you first arrived?
Well, when I first arrived, I saw the body of an individual being loaded into the ambulance, later identified in this investigation as Cameron Douglas.
What, if anything, did you do next?
I then spoke to two eyewitnesses, Quinn Liu and Tony Dallas DeCamp.
What, if anything, did Quinn Liu tell you?
Quinn Liu stated that she saw a black car run a stop sign and strike a bicyclist. She was also able to make out a partial license plate number, SLC 86.
What, if anything else, did Quinn Liu tell you?
She also was able to give a fairly great description of the driver. It was a cardinal and gold baseball cap as well as a white t-shirt.
What, if anything, did Dallas DeCamp tell you?
He was able to tell me the same accident, however, he was able to make out the make and model of the car, a black Bueller.
What did you do after interviewing these two individuals?
I then went to the Vega residence as a follow-up on the information given to me by these two witnesses.
What, if anything, did you see?
When I first arrived to the Vega residence, I saw the black Bueller parked at an angle in the driveway with one tire in the lawn, and I also saw the license plate SLC 8693.
Did you examine the Bueller?
I did. I saw that there were turquoise scratches on the front left bumper of the Bueller.
What did you do after conducting a visual inspection?
I then went to try to get a hold of someone inside the Vega residence. However, there was no response. We then heard a noise coming from the side of the house, coming from Tony DeLuca.
Did you happen to see what Tony DeLuca was wearing?
Yes, he was wearing a light blue Hidden Valley t-shirt.
And did you speak to him?
I did, yes.
What did you do after speaking with Tony DeLuca?
I then went to get paperwork from the back of my patrol unit and saw someone walking along the road.
Could you see what this person was wearing?
Yes, she was wearing a cardinal and gold baseball cap as well as a white t-shirt.
Was his clothing significant to you?
Yes, it matched the description given to me by Quinn Liu.
Did you speak to this person?
I did, yes.
And do you see that person in court today?
I do. She is sitting at the end of the defense table wearing a black jacket.
Your Honor, may the record reflect that this witness has identified the defendant.
Yes.
Did you mention Cameron Douglas to the defendant?
I didn't mention Cameron Douglas's name specifically. However, I did mention that I believe she was involved in a bicyclist accident.
What, if anything, did she say?
She said, "It was a bicyclist. I'm so sorry. I could never forgive myself."
What did you do at this time?
I then arrested her.
And why did you arrest her?
I based the arrest off of the statements given to me by Tony DeLuca as well as Quinn Liu, and I also based it off of physical evidence throughout this investigation.
Did you conduct a vehicle inventory?
I did. I found a University of Los Angeles business card underneath the driver's seat, as well as a cell phone in the center console.
And who did the cell phone belong to?
It belonged to Adrian Vega.
Did you examine it?
I did, however, there was some sort of malfunction, so no information was able to be retrieved.
Were you able to obtain any fingerprints from the Bueller?
There were no usable fingerprints found.
Did you ever speak to Cameron Douglas?
Yes, I spoke to him the next day at the hospital.
What, if anything, did he say?
He said that the driver of the Bueller that hit him was Adrian Vega.
Objection, Your Honor. This is creating a material fact. If I may refer you to page 26 of this witness's statement.
That the driver was Adrian Vega, that's the material fact that you believe has been created?
Yes, it states in the on line 22, page 26, Cameron stated that Cameron thought the driver of the vehicle was Adrian Vega, not that the driver was Adrian.
Response?
Your Honor, this is simply semantics. The fact that Cameron stated that he thought the driver was Adrian Vega, or whether it was Adrian Vega, is merely play on words.
Well, I think it's very close, and obviously that's something you can explore in cross-examination, but I'm going to overrule the objection that that's creating a material fact.
Did you finish your answer?
Yes, I did.
Now, did you speak to Aubrey Fox?
I did, yes.
And did you consider her testimony?
Yes, I did.
Thank you, Your Honor. No further questions.
Thank you. Cross-examination.
Yes, Your Honor. Now, Officer Wright, you were unable to retrieve any text messages from the phone you found in the car, true?
Correct, there was a malfunction.
And you were also, the prints from the car were not viable, correct?
This is true, yes.
Now, you began your investigation at 10:40 p.m., true?
I did, yes.
And Adrian Vega was taken to the police department at approximately 12:15, correct?
I believe so, yes.
So your entire investigation leading up to Adrian's arrest was only conducted in about an hour and 35 minutes, correct?
Of that night, yes.
Now, when you spoke to Quinn Liu at the accident scene, Quinn Liu stated that the driver had a white shirt on, true?
Yes, she did state this.
However, it was dark at the scene of the accident, correct?
It was fairly dark, yes.
Several streetlights around, true?
There were, yes.
Now, you also spoke to Tony DeLuca at the Vega residence, correct?
Yes, I did.
And Tony DeLuca told you that Adrian Vega was driving, true?
He did state this, yes.
Now, after speaking to Tony, you spoke to Adrian, correct?
I did.
And Adrian told you that Tony was driving, true?
She did claim this, yes.
So after having these two conflicting narratives, you did not go back and speak to Tony, isn't that correct?
No, I did not.
Now, you also spoke to Cameron Douglas in this case, correct?
I did the next day.
Cameron Douglas told you that he thought Adrian Vega was driving, true?
He did state this, yes.
He never said that it was Adrian Vega, isn't that correct?
No, but he seemed fairly positive.
You never mentioned in your witness statement that Cameron seemed fairly positive, isn't that correct?
No, I did not.
Now, you also spoke to Aubrey Fox during your investigation, true?
Yes, I did.
Aubrey Fox told you that she saw Tony DeLuca outside the driver's side door of Adrian's car, correct?
That's what she told me, yes.
However, after seeing this information, you did not go back to Tony DeLuca and question him on this, true?
I did not, no.
Now, when you spoke to Adrian Vega apologized, correct?
She did, yes.
In fact, she showed sympathy for the bicyclist that was hit that evening, true?
It seems so, yes.
Adrian Vega never stated that she hit a bicyclist, true?
No, she did not state this.
Thank you, Your Honor. No further questions.
Thank you, counsel. Redirect.
Yes, Your Honor. Now, directing your attention to Exhibit A, which streetlights were working that night?
The streetlight that was working was the one next to Quinlu's house.
And why didn't you re-interview Tony DeLuca?
I felt that I got all the information needed for my investigation.
And did you speak to Aubrey Fox?
I did, yes.
Did you consider her testimony?
Yes, I did.
And did that change your opinion regarding the driver?
No, it did not.
Why didn't it?
Well, Aubrey Fox did not mention any other names to interview, as well as she was distracted for a few minutes at that time. I also based the investigation on the physical evidence throughout this investigation.
Objection, Your Honor. This is not responsive to the question. The physical evidence in this investigation has nothing to do with Aubrey Fox's testimony.
Your Honor?
I thought the question was, did it alter your opinion?
Yes, Your Honor.
Objection ruled.
Please continue.
I based my investigation on the physical evidence throughout this investigation, as well as the witness statements given to me. And I felt that I gathered all the information I needed to submit it to the DA.
Thank you, Your Honor. No further questions.
Thank you, counsel. The witness may step down. Call your next witness.
Yes, Your Honor. The people called Tony DeLuca. Tony DeLuca to the witness stand.
Your Honor, I'll be cross-examining this witness.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly affirm that the testimony you're about to give will faithfully and truthfully conform to the facts and rules of the mock trial competition?
I do.
Please be seated. Sir, will you please state your full name, spelling your last for the record?
Tony DeLuca, D-E-L-U-C-A.
Thank you. Good evening, Mr. DeLuca.
Good evening.
Can you tell the court a little about yourself?
Sure. My name is Tony DeLuca, and I'm 18 years old. I'm currently a foreign exchange student from Treviso, Italy.
Who are you staying with while here in America?
I am staying with my host parents, Mr. and Mrs. Vega.
So do you know Adrian Vega?
Yeah, Adrian is their daughter.
Do you see Adrian Vega in court today?
Yeah, she's at the end of the defense table wearing a black shirt.
Your Honor, may the record reflect that this witness has identified the defendant?
Yes.
Now, Mr. DeLuca, how long have you been in the United States?
About 2 years now.
Are you fluent in English?
Yeah, it's probably from watching a lot of American TV.
Objection, Your Honor. Relevance?
May I be heard, Your Honor?
Yes.
It's important to establish that this witness, who is from Italy, can speak English fluently and understands and can relate the events of April 19th accurately to us here in court.
It certainly would be important to know that he speaks English well if he's asked to testify about conversations in English. Is that part of your offer of proof
Yes, Your Honor. This witness will testify to statements made by the defendant.
in English?
Yes.
Response?
Your Honor, whether or not this witness has watched American TV, as he just stated, is not relevant to the outcome in this case.
Well, I think it's a supporting fact for his opinion that he can speak English, so objection overruled.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Do you speak English fluently?
Yeah, it's probably from watching a lot of American TV. I watch a lot of Happy Days.
Now, Mr. DeLuca, why did you decide to become a foreign exchange student?
I did it for the swimming. I really want to compete for my country in the Olympics one day and make my family proud. And I figured I could get really good training here at one of the colleges in America.
So do you swim on the Hidden Valley team?
Yes, I do.
Objection, Your Honor.